most of the time I need to get my thoughts together when I'm going to talk to the Lord, and that's because there's a long list of stuff I need to talk to him about. Important stuff, like my kids and my friend's health and my other friend's marital relationship and, stuff. And then there's my stuff. So much stuff. If you've ever spent any time reading or listening to the self-help world, one of the big mantras, how do you say that word, is writing down goals or dreams. And not just vague, I want to be healthy or I want to be financially secure. Every book, video, Tony Robbins type person demands you be specific with these goals. Not, I want to be healthy, but instead you need to say, I want to weigh 135 pounds and have a BMI of 21. Yeah. Or, what about the financial security thing? That sounds like a specific goal, right? But really, what does that even mean? Considering inflation changes constantly, and what was secure 15 years ago may not even be above the poverty line in another 15 years. How do we even figure this out? I guess the question then becomes, what do I really want? Christ knows our hesitancy to make our real hopes and dreams known. That's kind of a scary thought, isn't it? And what if we do get super specific about it? What if we're not stepping into God's abundant, full blessings because we don't know what we want, or we're afraid to ask? Christ and his buddies were cruising out of Jericho in Matthew 20:32. When these two blind dudes were yelling, Lord, have mercy on us. And Christ knew exactly what they were asking, and yet he asked them, what do you want me to do for you? Talk about being put on the spot. Did they really want him to heal them? I don't know. How many conversations do you think they had, just these two guys prior to this? I can just hear one of them. Man, if I could see, I'd start a business. I could totally revolutionize the dry cleaning world. And I'm sure the other dude was like, yeah, me too. I know I could make comfortable sandals that I bet they wouldn't wear out. And I bet they'd be really lightweight. And, well, they might not be really cute. But, hey, I could call them Crocs after crocodiles because we know how tough those guys are. Yeah, they were ready with a specific answer. And that answer was open our eyes. Boy, isn't that a telling thought? Their faith led them to a specific request, and their request was answered. I'm coloring in these random colors in this background, and I'm thinking about all of my prayers and all of my requests, and have I really requested specifically, or have I just said, oh, and can you bless so-and-so, and can you keep me safe, and can you do this, and what about that, and I think they've been really vague, and I'm thinking this when I'm coloring in this background, because how many of these backgrounds do I color in and think and pray, and then it's like, oh yeah, what was that about, and did that even get answered? And I don't know. It's just one of those thoughts that go through my head when I'm doing something like this. I guess, I think, well, I guess I don't guess. Let me say guess one more time here. I think this is the hard part. Um, if faith is being sure of what we hope for, which is Hebrews 11:1, is not being sure of what we hope for the opposite of faith? Is that really the thing that says, yeah, I've got faith, kind of, sort of, not really enough to be specific? Because I'm not really going to tell you I need $800 to pay for this bill. I'm just going to tell you I got a bill that I need to pay for, and you just figure it out and you just send me the money and we'll just make it good. And then what happens when the money comes in, but then you weren't specific, and then you think, oh, wow, that was really cool, but maybe forget that you already prayed that and it was answered. And I think that's this idea of what I'm creating, is all this background, is all this vagueness and all these thoughts and ideas, but I didn't get specific. And now I'm getting specific with each mark that I'm making with these Tombow markers. I'm getting very specific on some things that I know I need to be specific on. And if I want the answer, I can come boldly before the throne and ask my dad and say, look, this is the issue, and you told me that you're a provider and you're going to take care of me and you love me, and this is what's going on. So can you help me with this? Thanks, I know you can. So this is what I need. But what if we don't want to recognize, or we don't want to really say what we need, or even dare to hope that anything that we need or want would be given to us by our Father? And especially nothing specifically. So is that a complete lack of trust? I don't know. Specific prayers literally lay out the actual request to God. And it means when He answers it, there's no way it can be ignored or just chalked up to a coincidence. And what if He's answering prayers left and right? But because we didn't ask specifically, we were just like vague about it, we don't notice that He answered it, or maybe even worse, we don't remember that we actually prayed that prayer. All the random colors in this background are like the vague requests, and they sit in the background, either because we didn't pay attention to the dreams and plans that God has for us, or because we ask in vague, random ways, to ensure that if God didn't answer, then we wouldn't be let down. Yeah, I don't know. The more time I think we spend listening to God and hanging out with Him, I think it reveals how much faith He has placed in us. And the result is this expectant, exciting conversation with God that uncovers the specific desires and plans that He has for us. And we get to be on the same page, and we get to create with Him and live with Him, and we get to be specific and go, yeah, like God answered that prayer, and God answered this prayer, and this is specific, and I saw Him do this amazing thing because nobody else could have done it. Nothing else could have happened. No other way this could have been answered. And we see it and we walk through it, and the more we do it and the more we have these conversations with Him, the more specific our prayers get. And you know what? Specific prayers change the world, because that means we have faith in our Dad who knows everything and is ready to make these things happen with us and through us.